Buongiorno, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about all the new hot releases in the fragrance world. So we are talking about the new Dior, Prada Paradoxe, Libre, the new Le Parfum and more. But I will focus on two fragrances in particular, and that is the new Dior Parfum d'Eau and also the Prada Paradoxe, because I actually have them here with me. So if you want to know all about the new fragrances on the market, then please keep on watching. But before we start, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Noura, and on this channel I mostly talk about fragrances. So if you are a fragrance lover, then please consider subscribing and also hit the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload any new video. Also follow me on Instagram, where I post some exclusive content that I don't do here on YouTube. And without further ado, let's start. We are going to start with the new Dior Parfum d'Eau, the newest release from this line. And I will be totally honest here, I was not expecting anything out of this word, because I find like Dior DNA, although I like it, is overly done. And I think Dior should just move on and maybe create a new line. Anyway, the particular thing about this fragrance that actually caught my attention is that it's not alcohol-based, it's water-based. So you may say, what is the problem with alcohol-based fragrances? Well, some people are sensitive and they can't tolerate perfumes. For example, my mother is is like that. She doesn't wear any perfumes because her skin is extremely sensitive. So having a water-based perfume is not a bad idea, let's say. And also it will save Dior a lot of trouble when it comes to shipments. I know this firsthand because Italy is one of the toughest countries when it comes to regulations for perfume shipments. Because of the alcohol content, it is considered inflammable. So a lot of retailers and perfume companies do not ship to Italy because of these regulations. Another particular thing about this perfume is that I think this is the first perfume from Dior that is taking a step towards sustainability, recycling, all that good stuff. And this is an approach that is now done by a lot of perfumes. By the way, the new Givenchy that is coming out, L'Interdit Eau de Toilette, is also like that. So they are using less glass and more of the recycled materials. Chloe did it before with the Eau de Parfum Naturel. So this is a new trend, let's say, if we can call it trend, in the perfume world. And I'm actually pleased that a lot of brands are taking this step. Now let's talk about the scent itself. And this is actually quite a nice floral fragrance. It has honeysuckle, jasmine, magnolia, neroli, rose and some green notes. So it's mainly a white floral, a fresh white floral bouquet. And as you can see from the notes, it's not a fruity floral like the original Dior. Now, is it totally different? No, I do get that they are related. So they are like cousins, not sisters, if that makes any sense. So you get a little bit of this Dior signature, yes, but mainly this is a white floral lotion type of a fragrance. Yes, it smells creamy, like a very luxurious lotion that you use after the shower. This is how this fragrance smells, but in the best way possible. It's a very luxurious lotion. So it's almost like a Dior lotion type of a smell. And another thing that I noticed when I first read is the packaging. Not bad, it's not a bad packaging, but it's different than the original Dior. And also the spray, look at that. It's like a mist. And spraying it on, I don't know if the camera will show it, but can you see? It has a white liquid. The initial spray is beautiful. You will get this fresh burst of jasmine, mostly jasmine I get, and also a little bit of the neroli. And it dries down more creamy. So it's more of a white floral bouquet in a way, and the honeysuckle comes out. And overall, I would rate this fragrance a 7.5 out of 10. So I like the scent. The thing is the performance. And I have quite a weird experience when it comes to performance with this fragrance. So the first time I tested it in a store, I said, yeah, that's a nice smell, but I'm not sure that I'm going to buy it. So I went home and I kept on smelling this fragrance for about 5 hours. And I'm talking about 2 sprays. So it's not like I showered myself in the fragrance, you know. So performance really was great on this fragrance first time I tested. Then I went to another store another day and tested it again. And it did not last at all. So I was like, okay, now, is this fragrance long lasting or is it like really weak when it comes to performance? So I just decided to get it and decide for myself. So I am wearing this fragrance now for quite a while. And I have to say, I don't get the first experience that I had. So overall, if I exclude the first impression spray, it's more of an intimate fragrance that lasts about 2 hours. So it's not exactly a cologne, but it does not last very long. I'm mainly using this as a bed scent, actually. I love these lotion, powdery, clean, fresh fragrances as a bed scent. And it's actually perfect for that. It's actually competing with a Drop the Easy from Easy Miyake as my current favorite bed scent. So overall, as a scent, it's quite nice. I'm not saying that it's groundbreaking or you have to get it. I would recommend it, yes, for those who love this kind of fragrances. So a creamy white floral, someone who loves J'adore, then yes, you may like this fragrance. And also for those who have sensitive skin, I would definitely recommend this one to check if alcohol is really a problem for you. So I really like the scent. As you can see, I have it, but it's not like groundbreaking or my favorite scent ever. But for me as a bed scent, I really like it. So J'adore Parfum d'eau. The next fragrance I have a decant of, and that is Prada Paradoxe. So I have it right down here. Now, everybody was looking forward for this release because it has been a while since Prada came out with a new fragrance. So not a flanker of a fragrance, but a total new fragrance. And this is a fruity, sweet, white floral. So we have in the top pear, tangerine and bergamot, and in the mid we have orange blossom, neroli and jasmine, and in the base we have white musk, vanilla, amber and benzoin. And to be honest, I was not really excited about this release because, you know, reading these notes, I got an impression that this is going to be quite a generic fragrance. Now, was I right or not? Let me tell you. This fragrance opens as a fresh, sweet white floral. So I get immediately the pear. I also get the orange blossom neroli and a little bit of a tangy smell that I guess comes from the tangerine. And the opening was quite nice. I said, okay, it's not so bad as I expected. And it immediately also reminded me of another orange blossom fragrance, and that is Voce Viva from Valentino. And the more this fragrance goes towards the dry down, so the vanilla comes a little bit out and you don't get the tanginess anymore, it's totally gone. It becomes very sweet, fruity, floral. A lot of pear, a lot of orange blossom, the vanilla, and yeah, a little bit of benzoin I get because it has this vanillic resinous creaminess that benzoin gives me. A little bit of the jasmine, but overall it's quite a sweet white floral. If you love pear and orange blossom, I would say this is the fragrance for you. And I also would say if you love Voce Viva from Valentino, you will also like this fragrance. However, I would recommend this one over Voce Viva. Voce Viva is slightly screechy to my nose. It's not as creamy and rounded as Paradoxe. It's a nice fragrance, but as I expected, it's quite generic. I don't know, I expected before reading the notes that Prada will come out with something really special, because I find Prada is one of the brands when it comes to fragrances that is not releasing fragrances all the time. I don't know, their releases are more thoughtful in a way, and this just, I don't know, it's too generic. Is it a bad fragrance? By no means, no, but it's just meh to me. Now, I am sure that this fragrance will do just good on the market because it's nice, and let's be honest, the majority of people are not like frag heads that have a lot of perfumes or a big collection and are smelling so many fragrances. So I would say it's a nice scent, but for me personally, it's quite generic and I expected something better. When it comes to performance, this is, I would say, moderate longevity and sillage. It remains on my skin for 4 hours. It projects quite nicely for the first hour, and then it becomes like a scent bubble for about 2-3 hours. At least this is my experience. So that was Prada Paradoxe. Next new release that I've tested is the new Alien Goddess Intense. And this one I was actually pleasantly surprised because I don't like the previous one, so the original Alien Goddess. I don't like the Alien line, but I still went and tested the fragrance. I tested it maybe 3 or 4 times, but I don't have it, so it's kind of a first impression, not like a full review. So my first impression is this is more similar to Alien than the previous Alien Goddess. So yes, it has an intense vanilla note, but the jasmine is really amped up here. So to me, it smelled like the original Alien mixed with a very, very heavy dose of vanilla and benzoin. It's very vanillic, a lot of benzoin that gives this fragrance a little bit of a creamy touch. Very, very long lasting and very projecting, but it did perform differently indoor than outdoor. So indoor, I got a lot of this vanilla benzoin, so it was quite a sweet, creamy fragrance. When I went out, and that happens more than once, by the way, I am sorry about the lighting. Today the sun comes and goes, so bear with me. When I went outside, I got a lot of the jasmine, and to be honest, I liked the indoor experience more than the outdoor experience. However, objectively speaking, this fragrance is quite nice. If you love jasmine and you want a sweet, warm vanilla jasmine fragrance for the winter or autumn, I would definitely recommend this fragrance, also because of the performance. I personally don't like the Alien DNA, so of course I'm not going to add it to my collection, but objectively speaking, it's a really nice release. Next, we have the new Paco Rabanne Fame. Now again, a big disclaimer, I am not a fan of Paco Rabanne fragrances in general. They are a little bit too commercial. I don't know, I don't like them in general. It's not like I hate the brand, but I've never found a fragrance that I actually like from Paco Rabanne. But I still tested the fragrance because I was quite intrigued by this mango note. So, do you get the mango? Yes and no. So, to me, my experience in the opening, I did not get a lot of mango. It was quite fruity, yes, in the opening, but it's more in the dry down that I got the mango. Actually, in the opening, it reminded me a little bit of Dolce & Gabbana Dolce Shine. Not totally, but a little bit. And I think it's the same perfumer who did Dolce Shine, did also Fame. And I was not upset. I did like the opening, not my cup of tea, but I did like it. However, in the dry down, again, we return to this vanilla, I think it's sandalwood. There is something in the base that is almost in all of Paco Rabanne fragrances that I just don't like. I think it's the combination vanilla sandalwood. So in the dry down, it was a little bit screechy to my nose, too sweet, a lot of sweetness. So if you love sweet fragrances and you love mango, I think you would definitely love this fragrance. But the whole vibe and the fragrance itself for me is a no. Next we have the new Libre. I just filmed a video where I put Libre as one of my most hated fragrances, but still I was intrigued again by a note in the new one. So they added saffron to the new flanker Le Parfum and also honey. So okay, saffron and honey, this must be amazing. So I went to the store and tested, and it's very similar to the Intense. I didn't get a lot of saffron. I did get a little bit of this honey note. So to me, it smelled like a little bit of a sticky, more syrupy version of the Intense. And I would say if you love the Intense, you will definitely love Le Parfum. Amazing performance, very long lasting and very projecting. I mean, I tested this fragrance on my hand. I washed my hand, I could still smell it. So that says a lot. So when it comes to performance, this is an A+ fragrance. The scent itself, well, apart from the fact that I don't like the DNA of Libre, I would say it's a good release, but I don't understand why coming with a version that is so similar to the Intense. So I don't think that you need both of them. If you don't have the Intense or you had it on your wish list, then definitely check the new version. Actually, I would recommend the new version over the Intense. And my predictions is that with time, one of these two will be discontinued, and I think it will be the Intense one, because Le Parfum to me is a better version, but who knows. So if you love Libre DNA and you want a more deep and warm and more of a seductive vibe for winter, then definitely check Le Parfum. Last two fragrances are from the Aqua Allegoria line from Guerlain. And I was so excited about the new Mandarine Basilic Forte, because Mandarine Basilic is one of my top 10 fragrances for life in my collection. I adore this fragrance. It's one that I can't live without. If anything happens and I have to rebuild my collection, Mandarine Basilic is definitely in it. So having a Forte version, so an intense version of Mandarine Basilic, was quite intriguing for me. But I was disappointed. So it is long lasting when compared to Mandarine Basilic. I will give it that. So it's definitely intense, but the scent itself, not so much. So they took from the original Mandarine Basilic what made that fragrance so special, at least for me. So this very unique, fresh, citrusy aromatic fragrance that I've never smelled anything like is totally gone. So yes, you have the mandarin orange and you have basil and everything. The basil is almost totally gone and the focus is on the mandarin, and actually I smelled it more like an orange. So I don't know. It's not a bad fragrance again, but it's definitely a letdown for those who really love Mandarine Basilic as I do. But the newest from Rosa is definitely a pleasant surprise. So I don't like the original one. The original one was to me just a fresh rose. There was nothing going on with this fragrance. It was just nice, okay. But the new version they definitely made it more interesting. So the rose in the new one is almost a little bit spicy. So I am telling you my experience without reading the notes. I did not read the notes about Rosa. But when I smelled it, I got this more of a deep, spicy, not that it's a spicy fragrance, but there is a touch of spiciness in this fragrance. There's depth. This one I would definitely recommend over the Rosa. But again, I was not a fan of the original one. So if you are a fan of Rosa, tell me in the comments down below, what do you think about the new release? Actually, tell me in the comments down below, what is your opinion about all these new releases? I am really curious to know your experience. So that was it. These were all the new releases that I've tested recently. If you liked this video, please give it a thumb up and consider subscribing to my channel. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload a new video. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Ciao!